That battle continues. Our team coverage now from Paramus, taking a look at the facility being set up there. Pat.
Well, taking a look, Stephen, but from quite a distance as we're being kept off-site here on the campus of Bergen County Community College, which, of course, has been closed, as are all schools and colleges around the state of New Jersey, as they prepare for this first government-sponsored testing site, a FEMA-operated testing site. They have stepped in to help the state and, of course, local government here to operate this site. Let me step out of the way. The video that we shot earlier shows the preparations that were underway earlier today as those tents were set up, and I can tell you that the activity here has ramped up considerably within the last hour or two. Another party tent rental service has come in. They're expected to put up 3 more tents, according to the operator of that enterprise. Told me a little earlier they've been brought in. The health department asked them to come in and set up 3 additional tents. We are in parking lot B here at Bergen Community College, one of 2 parking lots that will be set aside for this first drive-through testing center, set to open tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. It will be open 7 days a week from 8 until 4. But once again, state officials saying, please, if you are not symptomatic, have not been advised by your doctor, please do not come here and expect to be tested. Local police and the National Guard will be here to ensure that people who are not symptomatic will not be getting in line. They only will have about 2,500 tests, and the priority will be given to first responders and healthcare workers who need to be tested so that they, again, do not swamp local hospitals with people who are asking to be tested. Again, this first site expected to open tomorrow at 8 a.m., but only to people who've been advised by their doctors. We'll have more for you on News 4 New York at 5. Reporting live from Bergen Community College in Paramus, I'm Pat Battle, turning it back over to you.
All right, Pat, we thank you for that. Now, the White House laid out some plans to get cash into the hands of Americans impacted by the pandemic. According to Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, every adult will receive a $1,000 check. Every child will receive $500. Mnuchin is still hammering out the details of the stimulus with lawmakers. And in the meantime, President Trump said the FDA will fast-track antiviral treatments for the patients, including one that is used to treat malaria.
I think it's going to be very exciting. I think it could be a game changer, and maybe not. But I think it could be, based on what I see, it could be a game changer.
The FDA commissioner said a clinical trial is needed first.
Another volatile day on Wall Street today. Stocks trying to rebound from yesterday's huge sell-off. Take a live look at the Dow. You see it's up just under 190 points. We understand tech and energy shares helping to lead to that rebound, bouncing off of a 3-year low in the markets. We're learning more about the second person to die from coronavirus complications in Connecticut. Governor Ned Lamont saying he's a 91-year-old man from New Canaan. Meantime, we're less than 4 hours away from malls closing in Connecticut. This is new video into our newsroom. It's showing a lot of stores have already closed their doors. News 4's Ken Buffa continue our team coverage, joining us live from New Canaan with the latest there. Ken.
And it's constantly evolving here in Connecticut. In fact, Governor Lamont just announced that they are pushing Connecticut's presidential primary from April 28th to June 2nd. This is a number of sweeping changes here in Connecticut that is gripping with the coronavirus and also its second death.
We are going to get through this together.
Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont trying to keep spirits high while revealing the state's second coronavirus-related death. A 91-year-old man identified as Bill Pike of New Canaan.
We feel very sad, all of New Canaan, about the loss of Bill, and we are thinking and praying for his family and his wife, Kathy.
The state now partnering with private organizations to ramp up testing as dozens of new positive cases of COVID-19 emerge around the state. Beginning tonight, all malls are closing for the foreseeable future. This afternoon, here at the Sono Collection in Norwalk, the mall is technically open, but stores inside have already closed.
I found out mid-spring break that I had to get sent back home, so I don't really have any clothes with me or anything like that. Wow. I have like 5 shirts, and then that's about it.
And the mall's closing,
yeah.
So you can't buy clothes.
Nobody's going to see her anyway.
It's really quiet. Yeah. It's really quiet. I mean, almost everything's closed. There's no place to go.
In New Canaan, where businesses are straining, Club Pilates owners are turning to Facebook Live to reach their members.
And then you're going to roll yourself down onto that mat.
as the state and its residents deal with uncertainty as to when everything will be open again.
I think there's an underlying anxiety in everyone right now. I mean, I was just telling these ladies, I wake up and I try to meditate and I try to exercise every day, but I can feel an underlying anxiety that just of the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen.
Now, the governor is also setting aim to nail salons, hair salons, and barbershop. He's looking to close all of those later today, but he has not yet said the deadline on those closures. That's the latest from here in New Canaan. Ken Bufa, News 4 New York.
Thank you, Ken. Let's update the situation on Long Island. Nassau County has reported its third death today, as the number of cases across the island is now approaching 600. All this coming as New York's largest healthcare provider is sounding an alarm about not having enough supplies long term. Let's go live to News 4's Greg Sergel in Lake Success, talking about those new concerns there. Greg?
Well, Stephan, we're here outside Long Island Jewish Medical Center, and today, as we watch the number of coronavirus cases increase, we're also hearing more and more pleas from doctors and nurses worried about that shortage of equipment and their own safety as they continue to battle this virus. From the front lines of the coronavirus fight, a cry for help.
We, the practitioners, have a lot of fear and insecurity about this situation.
The Stony Brook Hospital critical care nurse told MSNBC workers don't have enough personal protection equipment or PPE. Things like masks, gowns, gloves, and goggles.
And what is starting to happen now is that the healthcare professionals are getting sick. And we haven't even seen the height of this pandemic.
Healthcare workers have now taken to social media using the hashtag #GetMePPE. This New York City doctor, whose husband is also a doctor, writes, quote, "Don't make us orphan our 2 toddlers."
There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of panic, there's a lot of confusion about what the proper equipment actually is.
The chief medical officer for Northwell Health says his system of 23 New York hospitals has yet to see equipment shortages. But with 30,000 doctors and nurses all wearing masks every day, that shortage, he says, is a real threat.
Every single place across the country is looking for the same thing.
Dr. Battinelli confirms a handful of his staff has tested positive for coronavirus. But it's unclear, he says, if they contracted the virus while on the job or in their community. The best way to protect them, he insists, is for the government to step in and help.
You've seen, the announcements about wartime supplies, et cetera, et cetera. We need to be able to gear up for that capacity. There's no way that the vendors themselves are currently prepared.
Now, the good news is we're seeing some evidence that private citizens and private sector businesses are stepping in to help with this. Late this afternoon, we received word that a Bellport, Long Island company was providing some extra PPE that it had on hand to local law enforcement. And hospitals are hoping that other private companies will step in as well to try and fill the void until the government can deal with the problem as a whole. We're live in Lake Success. Greg Sergel, News 4 New York.
All right, Greg, thank you. We have some encouraging news on the fight against the pandemic from China. There were no new cases reported today in the Wuhan province. That's the epicenter of the outbreak. There were thousands of new cases there every day before. And just this week, that number has slowed dramatically to zero. China has reported more than 81,000 cases.